So in 2019, I started as a 22-year-old man with only $1,200 in my bank account. In the next 2 years after that, I made over 500k net into my bank account. A few months later, lost all, and then about a year later, I became a millionaire. Yes, that's my story. I went through darkness, light, darkness, and light again. And the only real reason why I saw light again is because I embraced the lonely chapter. Now, what is the lonely chapter? If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds, and it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There's no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is. So the lonely chapter is a time in your life where you will distance and isolate yourself from anything that does not help you getting as fast as possible to the goal you're trying to achieve. It is the time of your life where you know what you have to do every single day in order to achieve that specific goal. It's the time of your life where you will isolate yourself so deep that everybody thinks you're fucking insane. It's the time of your life where there will be no day and night. There will be no balance, nobody will be cheering you in the back, there will be nobody believing in you. This is the whole point of the isolation chapter. It is the time of your life where you will just understand that all the bad shit that people have been talking about you, all the bad shit that has been ingrained deeply inside you and your biggest fears and everything that's been going on, you're gonna go against it. And as hard as possible. And there's this point where people, they talk about motivation, about discipline or anything. There's no such thing as that in this world. The only thing that matters is how deep do you want it, how big and how crazy obsessed are you. Are you willing to go day and night while your older competitor is just like laying down, sleeping or watching some fucking IG reels all the time? Do you want to go that far? Do you want to go to where a point where you just feel like sleeping and then you just realize again that there's this shit that needs to happen and otherwise you will not get where you exactly want to go? Do you understand that you're gonna have all those nights where you're sitting behind your desk trying to figure out some shit that you never have done in your life and putting yourself into positions that is more painful than anything you can imagine? Because let's be honest, pain in the mind is way harder than pain physically. Pain physically can be solved easily, but pain in the mind and going through struggles is something really different than anybody can imagine. And if I can speak about myself, the moment where I had like 500k in my bank account and I was so happy, finally I got out of all this misery, I can help my family out, I can do whatever I want. I thought I was living in a GTA movie and then losing all of it, all the luxury, all the lifestyle I was living as well here in Dubai. It was just one test from God, just saying to me, hey, you think you're strong? You think you're that guy, you're him? Alright, let's see. Let me take everything back away from you and let's see what's gonna happen. And that is the moment where I knew all the hard work that I'm putting in every single time, it's all worth it, it's all compounding. I don't call any of this shit luck, I don't call any of this shit preparation, I don't call any of this shit discipline, I don't call any of this shit whatever you may think. It all just comes down to how bad do you really want it. I have a personality where I don't really show my emotions to anybody because I understand I will probably be disappointed the moment I do it, which makes me very consistent in what I do, and the vibration levels, they are very consistent, which also obviously makes me in the end grow in health, wealth, love, happiness and status. And if you're a person with a lot of responsibilities for your family, for your staff, for example I have 50 staff, then you gotta have those as consistent as possible and possibly even grow it. Because the moment you have like too many different vibration levels going all over again all the time, is gonna put you in a lot of emotional states, which what happens? Inconsistency in your life, and that is exactly what is going against what we're here trying to as well talk about. And the sad truth is just basically that once you show emotions, you're just opening yourself to be completely broken. And I must say, this also has a downside, because it is very hard to build deep down relationships with certain kinds of people if you don't go to this far all the time. But you just need to consider for yourself if it's worth it. How bad do you really want it? Again. But let me tell you one thing. The loneliness is exactly what made me. The dark night at 2 a.m., trying out hundreds of different things on my business, hiring, firing, getting fucked over, losing more money than ever, having some initial success, and then again getting fucked over by whatever it is. It all compounds and it gives you mental resilience, which is exactly what you need. And the mental resilience that I'm just getting from this day by day is unexplainable. I don't ever phase, I don't get shocked anymore. It's very hard for me to lose my cool. It's very hard to beat somebody who already lost his mind a long time ago. And I can just tell you, fear is always short on you. And there's this quote by Bruce Lee and it's called, "Because you might as well be dead." Seriously, if you always put limits on what you can do, physical or anything else, it'll spread over into the rest of your life. It'll spread into your work, into your morality, into your entire being. There are no limits. There are plateaus, but you must not stay there. You must go beyond them. If it kills you, it kills you. A man must constantly exceed his level. This is where the true happiness in a man as well relies. And I can tell you this out of experience because when I first started making money, the first thing I did was helping out my parents. And then I would as well live a way better life for myself. I would buy a car, I would buy a watch, I would travel to all these places. But deep down in myself, the only thing that really makes me happy every single day, it was just growing and just leveling up. We're all just in one video game. Back in the days when I used to play first-person shooter games and I was just trying to, in the game, kill somebody, get as many kills as possible and not die as much and just win eventually. I just turned that around from playing video games to real life. And in order to do that and as well make those switch in your life is why the lonely chapter is so important. And look, if you expected me to give you crazy advice in this video, I'm gonna have to disappoint you because I really won't. I'm just preparing you for war. Isn't it funny when there's nobody out there when the grind starts and the moment you have success and people see it, suddenly they are there? Isn't it interesting that the moment when you're grinding is the moment where you need as much support as possible? There is no real support. You have to figure it out by yourself. And the moment you already figured all of it out, suddenly everybody starts talking to you, suddenly everybody starts giving you respect, suddenly everybody wants to go on dinners with you, suddenly everybody wants to be best friends with you. But you already achieved what you wanted to achieve. And this is very ironic. And I know this also for myself, is that I don't change my mood or do anything in life based on what people are saying to me or are respecting me or, for example, are saying, hey, I helped them so much or whatever. The only thing I really look at is the scoreboard. Check the scoreboard, brother. How many lives have you changed? What kind of revenue have you done? What kind of impact have you really made? Because the moment you start too much believing in what other people are also saying to you in a good way, and the compliments is the moment where you think you will be the shit, and the moment you think you are really the shit is the moment where you will as well put your foot less on the gas and you will lose momentum. What's going to happen when you lose momentum as well? You're just going to go back to being the old you that you were before, that you were so afraid of staying in that level. And let me tell you, I was already a millionaire in 2019, but it just didn't reflect in my bank account. I always had this mind already. Nothing changed in these 5 years. I'm still the same person, but I just evolved. And I only evolved because I believe so deeply in the lonely chapter. Even till this day where I'm like living in this $1.5 million penthouse and I live this crazy life here in Dubai, I still put myself a lot of times back again into the lonely chapter. Because I understand this is what made me and this is what I need to stick to. And I'm telling you, I can now say to you, hey bro, don't give up. Hey bro, these are the 5 habits you need in order to become a millionaire. Hey bro, please keep on pushing. Hey bro, do it for your family. But the only answer to everything is just the lonely chapter. That's what you need to go into, nothing else. Everything else fugazi. And what I can tell you as well with the end of this video coming is that please appreciate the unseen work, because it will never be unnoticed. Because the work you're putting in right now, the work that nobody is seeing and nobody is appreciating, it will always be unseen. But the moment that you understand the lonely chapter and you go through it long enough and you understand, yo, this is what it takes for me to really win. All the unseen work, all the hatred, all the pain, that's when it really happens. Then some kind of magic will appear. And all those unseen work, it will eventually not go unnoticed. And I am the biggest example of it. And ironic enough, this will really make you different compared to all the geeks who are just on their phone 24/7 doom-scrolling like an NPC. The unseen work that you put in today will be noticed very shortly. And now go ahead and enter the lonely chapter.